All right, here we are, learning target number 4. We're focused in here on acceleration. We want to know what components impact an object's acceleration and be able to give examples and kind of prove or support if the object is or is not accelerating. So here we've got room for our definition, and then we're going to give specific examples about what object and what the object's doing, and then prove about its acceleration. So we know acceleration has to do with, the learning target said 2 factors. The 2 factors have to do with speed and direction. So it essentially comes down to being 3, right? A speed increase, a speed decrease, or a change in direction. Typically, we think about acceleration being only when an object is speeding up. However, officially, it is when an object is doing any one of these things. All the time I get students saying, well, doesn't it have to do all of these? But if we think about it, there really isn't a way for an object to do all 3 at the same time. We could for sure get a speed up and a change in direction together, but we can't speed up and slow down at the same time. So that's what we're thinking about here. So we've got this example here to consider. You can kind of work through it with me and pause as we go and decide, accelerating or not. So we've got an eagle moving around, doing its thing. Each one of these highlighted spots, we want to decide, is the object accelerating or not? So the eagle here is hunting for dinner. He is perched on top of a tree, scanning the lake for fish. So with scenario 1 here, being perched on top of a tree, we want to say, is that accelerating or not accelerating? So thinking about these 3 things, you can pause and decide. But this particular example with the eagle being perched, I know there's no change in speed, no change in direction. It's just sitting there motionless. This is going to be no acceleration because we don't see a change in speed or direction. Next part. His eyes catch sight of a fish, and he begins to fly. So thinking about this here, begins to fly. The bird was perched in the nest, right? Here's the nest. The bird was just hanging out. It now starts to move. It's going from not moving to moving. So again, think about what your answer is going to be. Moving to not moving, begins to fly. I'm for sure going to have a speed increase, possibly even a directional change. So yes, that is accelerating because speeding up. Okay, now he flies straight out from his nest at a constant speed until he locks on to the fish. So here we go, straight out from his nest at a constant speed. This is number 3. So again, he was in the nest perched, he started flying, started accelerating. Now we want to know here, number 3, is he accelerating or not? So he's going straight out from his nest at a constant speed. So thinking about my factors, straight out at a constant speed. Straight tells me no change in direction. Constant speed tells me no change in speed. So straight and constant, this is a no acceleration example. Okay, the eagle then dives downward, keeping his speed constant. So again, was traveling straight, same speed, but now dives down. So I want to think about what that's going to be. Straight, dives down at a constant speed. So I know my speed isn't changing, but I do have a new direction. So that is one of my things. I'm done. I know, yep, for sure. Acceleration is happening. Now, as he continues to dive downwards, his speed increases, so he gets faster. So looking at option number 5, it's right there, speed increases. That's right part of my definition. And now here he's dipping down to catch the fish and flies back up. So he's dipping, catching, and flying back up to his nest. That's going to be our final example, and that's going to be a big old yes, right? Because of a change in direction. So thinking about those, we now should be able to come up with our 3 things that impact acceleration, 2 different speeds, and then something about direction. And then the example, you're going to tell me an object and what it's doing and how you know it is accelerating. And same thing down here, object and what it's doing and how we know it's not accelerating. So like thinking about our example for the eagle, I'm not just going to say eagle right here. That doesn't give me enough info. I'd have to say eagle diving for a fish at varying speeds or whatever, right? Or that's my because. Or down here, I would not, again, just say eagle, but eagle perched, right? And I'm going to ask you to do this big favor and not use a car as an example, right? We've seen that a bunch of times, so get your imagination going a little bit. Okay, just another reminder, these are our key must-use vocab words. It'd be pretty impossible to complete this learning target without them. So make sure that you're using those in your explanations and your definition up here. And anytime you use them, just make sure they get highlighted or color-coded so they start to stand out. Awesome. Thank you, guys.